Good morning, my friends. It is Thursday. Another new day to grow. A new day to try again. A new day to push yourself. A new day to go for that dream. To overcome the barriers. To be a great mom, dad. To be a good role model. A good day to move towards what you're trying to achieve. And listen, there's a lot of negativity sometimes in this world, and so we have to figure out a way. We have to figure out a way to keep our mindset positive. We have to figure out a way and focused even when things don't go right. And that is why I bring on Jamie, Kern, Lima each day to bring some goodness into your day with the Growth Day Morning Show. Good morning, everybody. Please chat down below. Say good morning to each other. Let us know where you're from. And Jamie, Kern, Lima, welcome to the show. I see Jenna Kutcher in here. Hi, Jenna. Jumping in already. That's crazy. Love seeing her name in here. Jamie, how are you? Good morning.
I literally feel joy in my heart seeing Jenna Kutcher's name.
Yes, me too.
So happy. Yes, I love it when people live congruently, right? When part of their career, they're out there spreading joy, uplifting people. Then when you meet them in real life, they're exactly the same. And that is Jenna Kutcher. So I am such a fan. And yeah, good morning, Brendon. Good morning, everyone. Happy Growth Day. This
Happy Growth Day.
Morning. Yes.
Every day you get to wake up, set an intention, feel the day, bring some joy to it, start that dream, move towards what you want. This week has been a conversation about your dreams. We're in that first part of the year, so we've been talking about Dream Week here, about how do you figure out your dreams, manifest them, and most importantly, we've been talking this week about in real time, how do you overcome the struggles of exhaustion or burnout or emotions versus feelings. And Jamie and I have just been jamming all week about how to overcome those things. So I hope you've been enjoying the Growth Day Morning Show. If it's your first time, we love you. Make sure you tell us where you're from because we love to see that. And today we're talking about what happens when people become your barrier to your dream.
Yes. Yeah, because all of us have this, like, we have dreams inside, goals. I feel like we all know we have this light inside, right? I think yesterday was such a special day. No matter how anyone feels politically, there was just so many talented people that spoke. And, Amanda Gorman sticks out to me with the poet, right? And in her spoken word and just talking about, being brave enough to see the light and brave enough to be the light. And so powerful. And, when I think about so many of our conversations this week, all unplanned, all live, all unscripted.
Hey, you got a new Growth Day mug. Look at yours.
Yes.
Okay,
Two sides.
Jamie sent me these.
Yeah.
And that's just, listen, yes, we're going to talk about dreams today and people who sometimes will bother you or get in your way. But I want to let you know there's people like Jamie in this world who are so giving, so thoughtful, take time out of their day to help you along the way. I mean, she just sent me these cups and they're so awesome. Many of you guys have been part of it with us with the Growth Day launch. And I don't have any swag yet. So, as we're launching everything, it's like, hey, this is pretty, right? That's the Growth Day logo. Every day, sun comes up, you got to-do lists. Be on purpose, have bright, sunny attitude. Let's go. Anyway, thank you, Jamie, for that.
I love this. When Brendon explained to me what Growth Day is long before it launched, now it's launched, right? And I know this is a big week for Growth Day also. But I remember when you showed me this logo for the first time. And, for everyone who's live with us now or watching the replay, when you scroll your phone sometimes and you see all the different apps, the first time I saw this, I just remember saying, oh my gosh, Brendon, I see it. Like, I can see that being an app on my phone where all of a sudden it becomes part of my daily life. And when I see it, right, it kind of just makes you happy. And, instead of hopping on all these other apps that or email, right, that can hijack your day or whatever, it's like, oh, you tap on that and pour into yourself and make it a growth day. I see it. So I'm like, all right, the least I can do is send you some mugs. And I know I make jokes about this, how we had Sherry Salata, who was executive producer of Oprah's show for decades on. She's been on our live this week on the morning show. And I'm like, she's done the biggest stage in the world. And then she comes here and I bet you she's so impressed with our mugs.
I hope
with
so.
Our fancy mugs and our no script and are pouring our hearts out live and
We're
sharing in
just here to
community.
encourage you guys. That's what we're
That's
here
right.
for today. Like every day, we want to start your day with those sunshine, a little bit of joy, a little encouragement, a little bit of reminders that you get to set your mindset, that you have the blessings of life from God, creator, universe, luck, chaos, whatever it is that gave you this fresh day to do better, to try better, to live better. What a huge blessing. And I hope that you really feel that from us each morning, is like, because Jamie's just getting up. I've been up for a couple hours. I'm a few hours ahead. This is Puerto Rico in the background. If you can see the beach here.
You have a suntan by now.
I do. Denise and I already did our walk-in. So we've already been outside, got that vitamin D on us. We're ready to serve and lead and give today. And I hope you wake up with that readiness. You know, I know the inauguration was here in the US yesterday, and inauguration is always changing of guards. And whether or not you like the last administration, don't like this one, fall on this aisle or that aisle of political beliefs, I think one thing that I hope comes to not just this new administration or the new culture or the next 20, 40, 50, 100 years in the United States history and future is that we learn how to better communicate with each other. And we learn that anytime there's antagonism between people, it's easy to imagine that everybody is antagonistic, or if someone doesn't support you, like it's easy to go, well, my parents didn't support me, so everybody doesn't support me.
Yeah.
Right? Or I had a teacher who doubted me and thought I sucked, so everyone must think I suck. That's not true, y'all. Most people, I did a post on this on Instagram today and yesterday, most people have an incredible biological, evolutionary science proved impulse for goodness, for connection, for belonging. The human species in general is actually not competitive, it's more cooperative. It doesn't mean we don't have people out there we don't like or people who are mean to us. But listen, don't ever let the few dozen bad apples you've had in your life prevent you from having the open, generous spirit and recognition that most people are good. And if they don't cheer you on along the way, at least they don't obstruct you. And when you realize that, then you go into the day optimistic and ready to give and serve and lead. But soon as you get tainted thinking everybody is antagonistic and against you and us versus them, soon as you make that mental shift, you shut down a huge, huge piece of joy in life. I don't know how you feel about that, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, I had to kind of live it out last night, actually. I won't share too much, but yesterday it's on the Growth Day morning show. And by the way, what I love so much, and we talked about this, is when we start carving a new groove in our life, right? When we start adding to our morning routine things like how we set up our day, right? Things like being intentional about it, things like the morning show that we're doing. Already, it's literally, I'm implementing a lot of stuff in my life. And I'm so used to being the teacher in a lot of areas of life, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of areas of business. And what I love so much about this morning show is all together we're students and we're sharing, and especially for me. So, I am in the middle of launching a book, and for me, it's, the best work I've ever done in my life. And the whole thing is for, it's not just how to go from Denny's waitress to billion-dollar entrepreneur. It's really a story about how do you go from not believing in yourself to believing in yourself. And, from like
book is called Believe It. Book is called Believe It, guys. Comes out on Amazon. Sorry to interrupt, but I want everybody to understand what she's talking about. Her new book is called Believe It. It comes out this next month. I want my community, the whole Growth Day community, to get behind it and support her, because here's, like you said, went from Denny's waitress to selling a billion-dollar company, and she's here for us every day on the Growth Day morning show. Jamie's a weapon. She is an incredible leader and builder. She has so much to do, but she takes her time each day to be here for us. So huge round of applause. And we have to support her in her new dream and her new venture, because we're talking about dreams this week, and her new book is a big deal. It's about believing yourself. It's called Believe It. You can pre-order on Amazon. And anyway, I'm sorry. I'm super, super pumped for you about this.
Well, thank you. And, this is a journey. And why I'm sharing this is I think any person watching right now, I feel like someone needs to hear it. I pray before every morning show. God, let me share something that someone else needs to hear today, right? Because that's what this is about. It's all about coming together in service. So someone else needs to hear this today. I believe that sometimes we're on this path and we're doing something we're so passionate about, and then all of a sudden, like, someone does, because we talk about keeping that faith that people are good and all of that. And whoa, yesterday I had someone really hurt me. Somebody I really trusted and considered a friend and all of those things, right? And thought would be a big champion. And I was just like, whoa, I was caught off guard. And someone I've been so good to for years. I'm just like, whoa, where's this coming from, right? And I had this big moment last night where, well, first I text Brendon. I'm like, Brendon. And then
and I fired back like, I'm so sorry. I just went off. I was like protecting Jamie in this text string. I'm like, they don't know. Da, 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 da. I don't want to get into details.
Yeah,
I
no, I won't get into details.
That was right before my bedtime too here, and I just went on fire in that text string back to you because you know what? You got to stand up for good.
You have to stand up for good, and also it's. I think so many of us in life, we think, oh, if we do right by other people, if we do the right thing, we show up for them and all that. It doesn't always mean the right people will show up for us. It doesn't, maybe they're the wrong person, right? And I just had one of those big moments last night, and it hurts. I don't think it matters what situation anyone's in when someone you trust and somebody that you consider a friend and have always championed them for all their stuff, and then they do something that's such a betrayal, and you always thought they'd show up for you, and then they don't. And, sometimes this happens inside our own circle of friends or our own family or maybe in business. And I think that, I realized last night, calling on some of those lessons we talked about. How ironic is this, right? From the Growth Day morning show yesterday about, okay, I have so much to do. What is my bigger mission here? Because right now I just want to curl up in a ball and cry. I did eat Valentine's Day candy hearts, which is not a good, that was not a good decision. The ones they look like chalk, and they're hearts, conversation hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you how.
You're like, I'm angry. I'm eating some candy.
I mean, it made no sense, but it made total sense at the time. I was literally on the verge of tears eating Valentine's hearts in this box because I was like, how can this person do this to me? Like, really? Yeah. It hurts so bad. I'm not even going to go there. But it reminded me, oh, this is also a growth moment. This can also be a growth moment. And okay, one of the things, our goals together on this morning show is to talk about our own growth and building that foundation of those tools we have to lean on and the things we have to pull from.
Especially when it's hard. Like, what do you do? What do you do when someone betrays you or doubts you or conflicts you or accuses you of something? That's really, really difficult. So what did you do? Like, how did you manage yesterday, and how are you managing today? Because you still got to deal with it.
I still have to deal with it, and it still hurts. And honestly, it hurts my feelings. You know what I mean? I can take a step back and go, oh, okay, like, I did the right thing. All those things. So I feel peace about that, right? But sometimes we do the right thing, but someone else still does something that just hurts our feelings. So, a couple of things. I went back to some of the tools that we talked about yesterday and some of the insights you shared yesterday, just about, okay, let me be aware right now of, is this, of course I have these feelings, these emotions, I'm attaching meaning to it because it hurts. But let me not let it hijack my mindset, because last night I had a lot of people counting on me for a whole nother thing that I was doing. And I'm like, okay, I can't let this person, steal my joy and also impact everything else that's so much bigger. So it was like a big aha moment in terms of how I framed it. And maybe Brendon, if you can share just quickly for anyone who missed yesterday, but we talked a little bit about, when someone hijacked your joy or your emotions versus the meaning you attach, and how do you then prevent it from also hijacking your mindset. So I did that last night, and making sure about that. And then one other big thing is there's stuff, and maybe someone needs this prayer too. And I believe whether you have faith or no faith, or you believe in the universe or God, I think this is super applicable. But for me, for probably over a decade now, almost every day I say the prayer, God, bring the right people into my life and have the wrong ones leave. And I
like that. I like that. Say it again. Say it again so people can write that down. Say it again.
Yeah, I say
That's real
this
good.
prayer, and you could say universe, you could apply it to whatever faith is right for you. But for me, I always say, God, please bring the right people into my life and have the wrong ones leave. And having faith in that prayer over the years, because when we started our company, the first few years, it was tough to hire anybody. And as you know, we built to over 1,000 employees, and I love them like family. And, listen, when our company started getting really successful, then what happens is competitors come and try to poach your people and offer them way more money and all that. And anytime I would lose an employee, it hurt. It was so hard not to let it hurt my heart or take it personal. But I would lean in on that prayer. Okay, God, like you're taking the wrong person out of my life. I don't understand why. I don't see it right now. I don't get it right now. But I'm going to have faith that you're bringing the right people in and taking the wrong ones out. And at the end of the day,
trust is huge. Trust is
huge. Yeah. So I leaned in on that last night. And it doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It doesn't, when somebody that we consider a friend and consider someone that, and we poured into them and championed them. And then all of a sudden you're like, or it could simply just be a friend that you considered a good friend you have coffee with. And then all of a sudden they're not who you thought they were. It hurts, right?
Hurts. And sometimes it's like they are, you all know there's like levels of that conflict. You all been it before where somebody, maybe they do something and there could be misunderstanding there that they don't know what they're doing. It's confusing what's happening here. And you're listening and you're working through and you're understanding, you're being patient with someone. And then there's just some people who are outright, sometimes out to get you because they have ego, antagonism, narcissism, or fear. And so usually it's from a place of fear. Most people act out, when they act untoward you or others, it's almost always fear. They're choosing fear and protectionism versus love and collaboration. It happens all the time, right? So you just know it's like, oh, this is where they're at on the spectrum right now. Their people mode right now is in antagonism, fight, and fear. Let me understand that a little bit, what's going on there. But back to Jamie's point a little bit earlier, asking me this question, I shared yesterday on the Growth Day Morning Show, which I hope you'll watch. You can see all the replays, by the way, of the Growth Day Morning Show on our Facebook group. So just type in Growth Day on Facebook, and there's a free group you can join. You can watch all the replays for free, but we talked about the difference between letting someone hijacking your emotion, which happens because emotions are impulsive and they're automatic and in their physical body and it's a reaction. But feeling is the meaning you attribute to the emotion and you carry with you, and you carry that feeling forward, right? Feelings forward, emotions right now. And so it's like, oh, the feeling I'm going to carry forward, I'm not going to define that emotion, or I'm not going to let them hijack my feelings for the rest of the day, right? You could piss me off in the moment. If you piss me off at 10 a.m. though, I promise you are not even on my radar by 2 p.m. You're gone. I'm back towards purpose. I'm back towards faith. I'm back towards the collaborators I am here to serve. I'm back towards my family. Like, you might hijack me for a minute, but you don't got my day. And that is that willingness, because I also know that one person who's a hijacker, they're a hijacker. But guess what? There's a million other people flying right now.
Yeah.
Meaning most people, most people's impulse is towards love, morality, and truth, and collaboration, and kindness. Otherwise, with 7 billion people, the world would have blown up 3 billion ago. The fact that every day, I always want you, here's what I have as a fundamental belief that really helps me. I hope you guys will write this down or think about it. Your orientation to what you believe about people and the world is creating or destroying your motivation each day. My orientation towards the world and to other people is so positive. I believe most people want to help. I believe most people got up today. They want to have a good day. They want to take care of their family. They want to make some money. They want to change things. They want to lead other people. They want to do good work. They care about excellence and craftsmanship and contributing. Most people, especially if you're watching this, you care. You're hardworking. Most people are. And if you have the opposite belief, antagonism starts rising. You start having drama where there's no drama. And people I know, they always say, Jamie, well, Brendon, you can say that because you have a beach behind you. You're so lucky and fortunate. I'm like, I grew up in Butte, Montana, people. I grew up getting my ass kicked every day in a place that had been economically depressed for a century with no ability to have an upward ladder in our community or anywhere. So it's not that I haven't had people treat me bad, beat me up, betray me. After employing all of these people throughout the years, just like Jamie, we've had people steal, take, accuse. That stuff happens, y'all. Every day I wake up with the hope the vast majority of people are good. They woke up, they want to do good for their families today, and I want to be part of it. I belong to a group of people every day who's striving to do good. And when I know that and I believe that, it's motivating. And that's why I'm this annoying.
No, I just had a live idea I have to share with everyone in the community. What you just said needs to be like a morning prompt on our phones. Like, it's going to be a good day. I'm going to be surrounded by people who are good and who are like that reminder. And I kind of think it needs to be in your voice too. I mean, just an idea, but maybe that's
every day. Every day is a good day to grow. And every day there's a bunch of people who are also trying to do that. They want to grow. They want to give. They want to serve. They want to be part of something. And as soon as you take away your belief in humanity, you strip away your motivation. So be cautious of blaming or ever getting in the us versus them mode, because we saw what that achieved. And that division grows the more we allow our mental rhetoric to be that way. So I just hope that helps. And I also know, though, you actually tactically now have to deal with this person. So how are you thinking through that? How are you going to approach that?
Yeah, I think that the best thing we can do is the right thing. That's it, you know, and that's it.
Give her a round of applause. The best thing we can do is the right thing, the next right action of integrity.
Yeah, even when it's hard, you know, and but also, you know, one thing I want to share about what you just said is, you know, and again, back to that whole, sometimes we have to be the light too. You know, this is so huge what you're talking about, because I think maybe a lot of people out there have the same experience I have, where I have I have multiple families, from divorces and adoptions and all kinds of stuff, multiple families, and they're divided with a lot of stuff going on in the news and over the past several years. And it's been an interesting journey to also watch people choose to spend their life in a way, almost kind of dimming their light, sucked into the news, embracing a victim mentality or negative, right? But really good people, it's easy to watch people you love and care about just start becoming angry, and you're like, oh gosh. And then you have other people that are more, right? And so I also think that this is going to be a season now where hopefully, you know, not only do we need to be the light ourselves, but also just be mindful that a lot of people have had a rough few years, and a lot of families, and even politics aside, going through a pandemic, right? That alone has been really tough on a lot of people. Separate from the difficulties of it, it's also divided a lot of people with how they handle their view on what's safe, how they handle their view on what's their own responsibility to other people around. I mean, it's been a lot for a lot of people, right? And so I think that, you know, I think it's also freedom for ourselves if we can embrace what you just said, which is, oh, I'm not going to think about how half my family might be divided right now. I'm not going to think about how this person I love is like, whoa, how do they think those things? Or how did they get sucked into that? Right? It's been a year for a lot of families and a lot of people.
They're on their own journey. They have their own values, feelings, beliefs, needs, dreams. And when you let other people have their journey, I'm telling you, everything shifts. Can you influence other people's journeys? Sure. Can they influence you? Sure. But when you get so authentic in your life that you say, I know who I want to be. I know how I want to treat other people. I know what I want to focus on each day. and you live that truth, you live that focus each day, everyone else's actions stop bothering you as much. Even if they're a train wreck, you don't have to feel like you have to take care of everybody. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to be the leader or the caretaker or the instructor of everybody. Sometimes there's people in your life, let life teach them what's right or wrong, because you can put it out there, but if they ain't grabbing onto it, you got it, right? It's like, okay. Because guess what? I always love to say, conflict, Jamie, especially the one you're having now, in 5 months, it's completely non-existent.
Yeah.
And so in the short term, it's easy to everything become this huge thing, right?
Yeah.
One day, sometimes we have a day where it just feels like everything blows up.
Yeah.
The good news is, in 5 months, that day, it's gone.
Gone.
It's like, it's not in the ether. It's not in the air. It's not in the breath. It's not in the decision. It's like, okay. And so it will move, we will move past it and trust that good things are on the other side of that gate of difficulty.
Yeah. And that belief, right? Not just that people are good, but also that good things are coming. That is just so powerful for taking the weight off of how heavy things feel when you're going through them, right? So that's more powerful than my first reaction, which was eating the candy hearts out of the bag.
Listen, that's so important though. I hope everyone hears this. It's totally okay to get sidetracked, thrown off, upset, pissed off, that you turn to something, that you change. It's the main thing is, can you get yourself back on track?
Yeah.
As soon as you need to, because people count on you.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
I personally, if I only think of myself, I'm so easily get off track. If I only thought of myself, for those who can see on Instagram, I know you can't see it on Facebook, but there's a beach right there. If I only thought of Brendon Burchard all day, I wouldn't wake up and do a free morning show for people. I would be like, if I only thought of myself every day, I'd be on that beach with a huge bucket of pina colada.
I was going to say.
Pretty much every day, starting about 11:30 till about 1 in the morning. But I got people counting on me. I'm trying to make a difference. I'm trying to build something. I'm trying to build something that we're all part of. And we have to make those decisions like, okay, am I going to really let the situation or this person poison my belief in others, myself, or my cause? No. You know what? They suck right now. I don't like it. I'm going to try to collaborate and work it through. But I know this too shall pass.
Yeah.
And if I stay on my path, my purpose will be fulfilled. My potential will be activated. My God will be proud. I will absolutely stay on my path for these others who count on me. Even though I would love to turn into a bucket of yuck in front of Netflix and just like turn off and shut all the shades. And there's times you want to disappear for like a week. You're just like, I'm done. I'm like, maybe you feel done, but your work here isn't done. Maybe you feel done, but people didn't stop counting on you just because you're sad. People didn't stop counting on you just because it's easier to turn away. People didn't stop needing you just because this person took advantage of you. And so when we turn our vision back to cause, mission, purpose, others, we can rise out of our own yuck and get back at it. I'm fine if you got yuck for, hey, if you feel down a day, an hour, that's life, man. Don't shame yourself for it. You got hijacked. Now, wake up to the freedom of that new day, reorient, and go.
I love this so much. And by the way, maybe it's for everyone listening, it's not just someone who betrayed you. Maybe it's just, you're like, I haven't had traction in my business in a while, or I just am not motivated. Something you just said, like maybe you're feeling done, but your work here is not done. That's so good. Like, because there's so many times we can feel like I'm done. I just have I'm not seeing success in my business. I'm not feeling motivated. I have eaten candy hearts 25 days in a row. For me, it's just been one day. It's been one day. But like, whatever it is you're going through, it's like that's the truth. It's like, oh yeah, sometimes we feel done, but like our work here is not done. Yeah. Like our purpose, our mission, our calling, oh, we've got a long way to go. And that's inspiring. Thank you for sharing those words.
You are simply being called to grow. You're simply being called to develop. You are simply being called with a question. do you really want it? You're simply
Yeah.
being called with that choice every day. Like, do I really want it? Do I really care? Do I really want to go after it? And the days you don't feel like it, that's okay. I'm just here to say, don't forget other people's. You still got to be a good mom. You still got to show up for your team. You still got to, there's days I don't want to talk to my team. I'm like, oh my God, another Zoom. I mean, I work for Zoom now somehow. I feel like I'm like always on. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted from this. I don't want to do another one. Guess what? They need my answer. They need my energy. They need my support. They need me cheering on. They have careers and families and mortgages and payments. Let's go. Okay, I'm not feeling it today, but responsibility is not something you shirk. Real freedom happens in our life when we embrace responsibility. Real freedom happens in our life when we embrace the powers we have. We think, oh, one day I'll be free of those things. I'm like, no. No, the day that you embrace the obstacles, that's where your freedom comes. You think when the obstacles and the turmoil and the struggle is gone, I'll have freedom. I'm like, the freedom is when you embrace it. You don't one day have it. Same thing, spirit. Oh, well, one day I'll embrace spirit because I'm dead. Like, you know what? Embrace that now, and life feels different. That's all I have to say for the day. I hope this is part of your helpful morning, everybody. Happy growth day. It's a new day. It's a good day to grow. Jamie, thank you for the inspiration and the guidance on this thing. Give her a big shout out in the chat down below. Make sure you follow Jamie Kern Lima on Instagram. Grab her book. It's in pre-release called Believe It over on Amazon. Support her and the book. Jamie, go have an awesome day. We love you.
You too. Love you too. Love you guys.
Cheers. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.